Paso, Texas. Number 4, Alonzo Gallegos. Number 7, Alejandro de la Garza from Mission, Texas. Number 8, William Redmond from San Antonio, Texas. Number 10, Victor Pinal, which we will mention later on in the broadcast. Number 12, Dylan Kelly.
16, Paul Bueller.
St. Louis, Missouri. Number 17, Alex Hoyle from Dallas, Texas. And number 21, Andrew Grossman from Arlington, Texas. Andrew will be your holding midfielder. Now, speaking to Grossman, he's got 1 goal and 1 assist, been kind of a leader. And Victor Pinal was named to all-conference team selection by Top Drawer. Now for your Utah Valley Wolverines starting lineup. You've got goalkeeper Colin Party. Number 2, Joe Barakat out of Torrance, California. Number 3, Connor Salmon from Orem, Utah, local boy. Number 4, Alex Neff, your center back, alongside Cameron Kidwell. Number 5, the big man at standing 6'4", Skylar Milne. Number 9, the leader on goals for UVU, Matt Gay. Number 10, Carson Payton, forward, just scored a game winner against Air Force.
Midfielder, number 19, Ben.
Number 19, Ben Perkins from Sandy, Utah. Or sorry, from Hong Kong. Number 24, Cameron Kidwell, who we mentioned before. And number 32, Tyler Brown. Now, a few mentionables before we get going. Ben Perkins just got his mission call to Quezon City in the Philippines. He will be speaking Tagalog, and he'll be leaving shortly after the season. You also have David Adams that just received his mission call. He'll be going to Berlin, Germany. As you get a picture of the teams giving each other high fives to get going for tonight. What are you looking for tonight? What are you expecting to see, Caleb?
Well, with Incarnate Word playing the 4-2-3-1, I look for that midfield possession between Grossman, Gallegos, and Pinal. That triangle that they make and the distribution that they have to their lone forward, Kelly, will be interesting. Also, we'll see how Bueller and De La Garza play into that, how wide they get on the field. With UVU, I expect a lot of possession and speed from their outside midfielders and a strong presence from their inside backs. Perfect.
Now, Incarnate Word, they started the season 0-5, but then they went on a winning streak. They won 4 in a row. They're standing at 5-1 in the conference currently, which is good enough for second place. UNLV is standing at 6-1, who has your first seed. In order to qualify for the Western Athletic Conference tournament in Seattle, the top 6 teams go to that tournament. Now, Incarnate Word will not qualify because they are making the transition from Division II to Division I, so there's a 4-year waiting period that they have to wait out. This is their second year. They'll have 2 more after this, but that leaves right now Utah Valley in 5th place. If you take Incarnate Word out, if you leave them in, they're at 6th in that final spot. So this weekend is extremely important for UVU to come away with results in order to secure their way into the conference tournament.
Exactly, Sean. These last 2 home games for the Wolverines are going to be very important for their final stand to see how far they can make it in the WAC tournament and if they can make it in their first year.
Now, in this streak that the Cardinals, Incarnate Word, has gone on recently, they've been able to raise their RPI over 60 spots. Now, we talked about RPI earlier this year in our broadcasts. UVU kind of skyrocketed in their first year. They were in the 90s, which is extremely impressive after they beat Gonzaga and Denver University. Impressive wins against ranked competition. And then they fell off after a home loss to UNLV. And then their traveling competition that they faced. They just came off of a split road trip. They went to Air Force, won 2-1 there, and then they went to Missouri, ended up losing in the last minutes, the closing 5 minutes of that game to lose 1-0. We'll see early from Incarnate Word with the possession side to side, near side to far side. You see the movement extremely dynamic from all of them. As Alex plays a ball down the line for Matt to run onto. This is Matt Gay in a foot race with number 17. Looks like Joe Brown. He holds it up to play into Ben Perkins. Ben drops it back in possession but loses it. And now Incarnate Word goes the other direction with it.
Looked like a dummy pass gone awry there.
A little side tackle from Skylar Milne to win possession. Looked like Joe Barracat on the win. Here's Tyler Brown trying to play into Ben's chest. It takes a deflection off of Incarnate Word. Here's Tyler Brown again on the ball. Little nutmeg to play Connor. Ball gets away from, here's Victor Pinal. Now Victor, like I mentioned, Top Drawer has named him as the top 20 players in the conference for Western Athletic Conference. And Incarnate Word has a lot of lethal opportunities going forward. Dylan Kelly, their striker, has 5 goals and 3 assists. Noah Keats, who's been injured lately, also has 5 goals and 3 assists. And here's Alex Neff on the ball, playing a ball into Carson. First touch kind of gets out in front of him a little too far. Good skill from, looks like Alonzo Gallegos. A little Cruyff turn. This conference has a lot of parity, Caleb. I was here for the UNLV game, and UVU dropped ours at 1-0, but it was after the PK that was very debatable. A lot of the people would argue that it was not a foul, and UVU also deserved a penalty kick in that game that was not awarded. And UNLV stands atop the conference at 6-1. It'll be interesting to see once the tournament begins.
Yeah, they have the best conference record right now, and yet looks like in the coaches poll, they're still sitting behind Seattle in overall votes for the top team in the conference, while Seattle is in 3rd place according to record, and yet kind of maintaining that conference clout that they've gathered this offseason and then into this season.
Yeah, that's a good point. As we see a flick into the box off of Ben Perkins' head. Here's Alex in a foot race against Dylan Kelly. Dylan can't keep it in. This will be a throw-in on the near side for Tyler Brown. Talking with Tyler earlier this week, or last week I believe it was, at a state cup, local Utah State Cup. He came out to see the local talent with some of his teammates. He speaks 4 foreign languages. Him and his brother, younger brother, 6 years younger than him on this team. Tyler can speak Russian, Armenian, extremely impressive. Here's Dylan, faced up against Cameron Kidwell. Leaves the ball behind him.
You got a lot of kids going to college trying to learn a lot of these languages, and here he is, just already there. Should make it easy to pass some of those classes.
Here's a throw-in again on the near side. Looks like Matt took a ball just to the midsection that he's just trying to overcome at the moment. You see Tyler Brown on the ball on the throw-in on this near side. Just 5 minutes into the game, pretty even so far.
It's mostly a battle in the midfield. There hasn't been a lot of possession for one team or the other. It's gone back and forth, a lot of challenges coming through, and both teams are kind of feeling it out, seeing what their opponent is working with and how they're going to break each other down.
These results this weekend will dictate probably that number 2 spot with Seattle will play Incarnate Word on Sunday. If UVU is able to pass Seattle up, they could take the number 2 seed into the playoffs, into the WEC tournament. And number 1 and number 2 have a bye into the semifinals. Number 3, 4, 5, and 6 fight it out to see who will go to the semis. So huge implications for this weekend, not only for these 2 games here at Clive Field, but also up at Championship Field in Seattle for the other conference games. Here's Matt almost getting on the end of a pass, a little possession out of the back for Incarnate Word. Here's number 6, sorry, number 8 down the line, Will Redmond. He has 1 assist on the year. Tries to play a ball down the line to Dylan Kelly, who's already been extremely active in the first 7 minutes of the game.
He's been running a lot. Expecting him to maybe look for some, come back into the midfield, look for some balls at his feet, or a little hold-up play so that his outside midfielders can run onto the ball and make some passes off of that.
There's a turnover from Cameron trying to cut a ball back into Lucas Colley's foot. It's picked off by Incarnate Word. Here's number 8, Will Redmond, again on the ball. He elects to play short to Andrew Grossman. Plays back to Joe Brown. Joe switches point of attack to Alex Hoyle. There's a little combination out wide as Skylar Milne slides in and wins possession.
Good skill check there with the slide tackle, and then a little juke move to keep possession of the ball for the Wolverines.
Here's Tyler Brown with space in front of him. Puts his head up, finds Connor Salmon. Plays it back. Little nutmeg from Tyler Brown to spring him. Here's Matt Gay with some space in front of him, combining with Carson Payton. Now joining Joe Barakat into the attack and overlapping run. Here's Lucas Colley on the ball. Back to Skylar. He plays a ball out wide that just goes over past Carson out of bounds.
It's those simple passes that UVU needs to be working on to keep possession. You know, they're making that move into the offensive third, and they give that ball away and turn it over to Incarnate Word. It seems like something that's been happening fairly often during the season. You know, they build up, and then that last ball is not where it needs to be. I'm looking for a little bit of improvement there from the Wolverines. I think it'll bring.
I think it's a good point, Caleb. I think that's the hardest place to combine because everything becomes so much more compact, and that's the most difficult part in a soccer match, is combining in that vital area in the attacking third. So we see a ball played up and high that Cameron Kidwell steps in and picks off. Here's Colin Partey on the ball. Colin, I think, is definitely mentionable to bring up that he holds a 0.83 goals against average this year with 49 total saves. I think it's definitely important to bring up that he's been a huge role on this team. A couple of saves to bring up, especially with Seattle visiting here in overtime. A ball he saved off the line, just over the top, Nick Raimondo-esque type save. He's been big for this team thus far.
He's made some great stops. You know, I think it really gives his defensive backs some confidence when they're playing in the back, knowing that they've got a guy behind them that is going to pick up the slack if something goes wrong.
Here's Andrew Grossman on the ball, finding Will Redmond out wide. The ball goes under his foot, out for a throw-in. Alex De La Garza giving instruction to his teammates to make sure they drop. Here's a long throw from Tyler Brown. Ball up in the air. Connor's touch just gets out in front of him. Back into possession for Incarnate. Switch out wide. Looks like to Jonathan Camerona. He serves a long ball to Dylan Kelly. Ooh, this lucky that UVU gets out of pressure there, almost picked off. Here's Lucas Colley on the ball. Carson Payton plays the ball back to Ben Perkins, and here's Tyler Brown. Ben back to Skyler, switching possession. Skyler uses his big frame to hold Dylan Kelly off the ball. There's a little win from Skyler again. Back to Cameron Kidwell. Incarnate Word is they're coached by Vince Martinez in his 4th year. He joined the team in 2008. Since then has gone 70, 31, and 11 overall. Extremely impressive results overall. Like we mentioned, they made their transition from Division II to Division I 2 years ago. Last year, they went 6-8-1 overall. They were not part of a conference. They were independent, and they played all of their games except 2 of them on the road. So to come away with 6 wins on the year is pretty impressive in their opening season in Division I.
Yeah, you've seen that this year as well. Their away performance, especially in conference, has really been stellar. They've been able to go to other teams' fields and pick up wins.
Little header back from Joe Brown, or sorry, Alex Hoyle back to his goalkeeper, Kieran O'Boyle. Here's Victor Pino on the ball, finding out wide. Here's number 7, Alex De La Garza. The ball just going to go over the inline for a goal kick. De La Garza tried to slide to save it. Now Vince Martinez, the head coach, he's played professionally both in the USI Indoor Soccer League and also the A-League back in from 97 to 2000, spending time with the Nashville Metros and also the Hershey Wildcats. He was the assistant coach when the former head coach in the middle of the season walked out, and so he kind of by default took over the interim head coaching job, held that title for 3 years, and after 3 years of successful results was named the permanent head coach.
Yeah, he stepped in and made a big impact on this program. You know, to hold that interim spot for 3 years and then finally get in a head coaching position out of it is something to say for his record over the past 4 years.
Here's Carson Payton's speed getting down the inline. He cuts a ball back. Looks like Matt Gay's trying to get a shot on frame. Matt Gay does lead the conference in total shots.
There's a Cardinal down back in the box. The ref is calling time.
It looks like a mean collision with Matt Gay, and that's a solid boy that on a slide tackle, I'm sure nobody wants to elect to have that type of contact.
Built like an alligator. It's just muscles on muscles on muscles.
If you saw his free kick against Air Force to take the lead late in that game, he's about 25 yards out, and he just drove a ball, just a line drive, a laser, had a one hop just probably about the 6-yard box and found that far post side netting to take the lead. Just a few minutes later, Air Force was able to tie it. But then your captain, Carson Payton, in the dying moments of the game, got a defender isolated 1v1 top of the 18-yard box and just slots a ball to the far post to take that win away from Air Force with a 2-1 victory. Air Force sits just behind Utah Valley in the overall standings.
You've seen a lot with the Wolverines, scoring late goals and giving up late goals. Looking for a little consistency in that last 10 minutes. You know, they've lost a couple games in the second overtime to a couple really good schools, and you're looking for them to just show some resiliency there at the end of games where they can hold on and get a point, and sometimes, you know, not dropping giving up a late goal to win, to lose or tie a game.
Here's Lucas Colley on the ball. The ball just slid away, tackled away. He gets it back. Here's Tyler Brown on the ball. He serves a long ball trying to find Carson Payton. Jonathan Camerona gets up to win the header and goes and challenges with Carson and comes away with the ball. Here's a big ball played out of pressure. Good first touch from Victor Pinal to get out of pressure. Here's number 16.
Offsides.
Out wide. Flag is raised by the assistant referee. Center referee Dion Tilton finally notices it. Dion came over and spoke to us before the game. He wanted to make sure that we knew he has the least cards in the conference. So, important thing to take note of.
He's very proud of that.
You like to see referees have that confidence in their ability as referees and to not award those type of disciplinary actions. Here's a ball sprayed down the line. Jonathan Camerona tries to play a long ball. This could be trouble. It's kind of in between. Colin Partey off his line. Just plays a ball that could
blasts it onto I-15.
onto the freeway.
And it's, oh, just hits the fence. Exciting.
And here's Will Redmond on the near side on a throw-in. Going back to what you said, Caleb, Utah Valley has given up goals in overtime, one against Seattle, and then they also gave up a goal in the last 3 minutes of the game at Missouri just this last weekend to lose 1-0.
Those are tough. You know, you've been playing a good game and you're on the road and you're bunkered in and you're hoping that you've got what it takes, and sometimes the ball just finds the back of the net and it doesn't go your way. They're heartbreaking losses to go through.
And when the ball falls to the other team's foot inside the 18, it's extremely disappointing to give away those type of goals late in games. Here's Tyler looking to play Ben Perkins down the line. Ben Perkins was checking back to get it at his foot. Here we are, about 20 minutes into the opening first half of the game. We're still tied 0-0. Most of the action, like Caleb had mentioned earlier, has been in the center of the field. Not much action inside the 18 for both sides. There's Connor Salmon to get up and win a header. Ben Perkins slides and wins it. Connor has a sister that plays for the women's team here. There's a throw in back to Alex Hoyle. He plays a short one into your center midfielders. Little possession game with that trio you talked about, Lonzo Gallegos, Victor Pinal, and Andrew Grossman. They find Jonathan Camerino out wide, and here's Skylar Milne picking it off. Carson plays a ball out wide to Lucas Colley, and the ball goes out of play. Here's back to the Cardinals. They'll look to swing the point of attack. Kieran O'Boyle on the ball. Connor gets up and challenges, wins the header. Ball falls in the lap of Alonzo Gallegos. Good win from Lucas. Just touched just a little heavy. And here's Jonathan Camerona again.
Good step right there.
Connor does well to just ghost in there on the blind side of the defender and poke the ball away. Here's Lucas springing Carson. You can see his speed. He takes off, tries a little Ronaldo, loses his footing, and here's a chance for Incarnate to counter.
Wolverines still have numbers back. They should be fine.
Joe Barakat comes in and wins the ball off of Paul Bueller. Here's Jonathan Camerina. Ben Perkins pops in at a good space. Look at the space for Connor out in front of him. He gets the ball back to his foot. Matt Gay's making a run down the line. Connor plays it short. Here's Ben. in the space. He gets it to his foot. He plays Lucas. Lucas tries to play a slotted ball to Connor. It's picked off. Cameron Kidwell slips but does well, that just uses body and frame to hold off Dylan Kelly.
Got a little action over here on the sidelines with the Wolverines. Coach Moss is giving Buxton and
Matt Gay here is isolated 1v1. The ball off the outside of his foot just goes wide. Good timing on his run. The Incarnate Word was arguing that it was offside. We have a couple of substitutions.
Looks like Ryan Osborne coming in for the Cardinals up top for Dylan Kelly. Paul Bueller also came off.
Number 16, yeah, Paul Bueller comes off. Number 9, Ben Conway, and number 11, Ryan Osborne come in.
Looks like they're trying to change up that attack with a couple like-minded players up top. Maybe put a little more pressure on the Wolverine defense.
Carson Payton also comes off, as well as Connor Salmon. Your Paul Hoffmeister and also Austin Buxton enter the game.
Buxton getting in early. They're on the sideline, taking throwing now for the Wolverines.
Long ball down the line. Alex Neff is doing the track work. Little stumble. It's a couple of times now. Both Cameron Kidwell and Alex, as they're in a full stride. Step in, and I don't know if it's a little divot or the grass is wet. They lose their footing for a second. Little flick on from Matt Gay. Here's Alex Neff looking to play down the line. Austin Buxton gets the ball. Alonzo Gallegos springs the ball forward, but that Skylar Milne just pops in and wins the ball. This ball put forward. I apologize. Carson Payton did not come off. He's still on. You have Austin Buxton and Matt Gay playing up high. Carson is dropped into the midfield. Looks like Ben Perkins came off. It's Tyler Brown winning possession. Finds Alex Neff. He finds Cameron Kidwell. Ball is blocked on the outlet pass. Looks like Victor Pinal. Alex Neff just does a little dump out of the space. Falls to the foot of Andrew Grossman. Alonzo Gallegos goes wide. Ball served into the box, right into Collins' hands.
Let's go quickly.
See that those last three passes there for the Cardinal in that offensive third went from Gallegos to Grossman to Pinal. That cross came in just a step in front of him, and the keeper for the Wolverines was able to get in there and snatch it up.
Austin Buxton making the diagonal run behind and getting the ball to his foot. Wins the throw-in on this near side. There's been a couple of times where Incarnate Word steps, but the forward line, both Matt Gay and Austin, the last couple of minutes have been able to time their runs just perfectly. There's a long throw-in from Matt Gay coming in.
Trying to catch him in that offside trap, and the runs that UVU forwards are making are sneaking in just behind him, staying on sides and creating some dangerous opportunities for the Wolverines.
There's a switch point of attack from Alonso Gallegos to Jonathan Camarena. He plays a ball down the line, which is then lost by Cameron, or as Cameron Kidwell steps into that space. Here he is on the ball. Finds Carson in a pocket of space. Look at Austin off to the races. Lucas Colley wins the ball that's played out wide. Here's Paul Hoffmeister, 1v1. This kid can dance. Shot with his left foot, goes off of his central defender. Hoffmeister wanted a handball. Here we are going the other way. Ryan Osborne, or sorry, that's Ben Conway. Substitution, gets the ball to his feet, but here's Carson Payton on the ball again. He wins a foul just about the midfield stripe. UVU going with kind of a dynamic 4-4-2 that turns into 4-3-3 sometimes.
A little miscommunication there on the defense.
Alex Neff does well to make sure he doesn't lose that ball, and he takes a knock. Here's Lucas Colley. Or sorry, that's Connor Salmon. And here's Austin Buxton. Takes a deflection off of him. That'll count as a shot.
It's a roundabout way of getting a shot on goal, but UVU will take it.
So just summarizing after the substitutions, as I know I've probably confused you a little bit. You've got Connor Salmon and Skylar Milne in the center of the field. Paul Hoffmeister, Carson Payton out wide. Matt Gay and Austin Buxton are your strikers in a 4-4-2. But if you've watched UVU before, you know that their flanks are extremely fast and dangerous, creative.
Yeah, you've got Buxton just tucking underneath Matt Gay there a little bit. So they're playing both up top. Heard Coach Moss yelling at Buxton to keep calm and tuck in behind Matt Gay and have them play off each other.
And here's yet another throw in on the near side for Will Redmond. You hear the drums in the background from the Green Men. Will Redmond elects to go all the way back to his goalkeeper, Kieran O'Boyle. Kieran stands at 6'2". He's from Blackpool, England. He looks like a big frame as well. Be interesting to see set pieces later in the game when Skylar and Cameron could get in the box and challenge.
We haven't seen a lot of chances from either team, just a shot on goal apiece from each team here in the first 30 minutes of this game. They get up into the box and things kind of break down. Here's an opportunity though.
That's a good win from Skylar. You had back post ghosting. It looked like Ben Conway was by himself, and Skylar gets the touch to make sure it goes out. Will Redmond's called for the foul on the sideline. Coach Moss just checking on Skylar Milne because Skylar just landed kind of awkwardly off that header from the cross into the box. There's Matt Gay with a little back heel. Can Austin get on the end? Kieran O'Boyle does well to just bring that in.
Well played, little 1-2 ball between the two forwards there. Just a little too far for Buxton to get in on it.
Creative back heel from your leading goal scorer for UVU, Matt Gay, wanting to get an assist at his tally there. I believe he has 6 goals, 3 assists this year. Big ball played. Skylar wins it. First touch from Joe Barakat back to Colin. He plays long. Ball falls to the chest of Jonathan Camarena. And here's Alonso Gallegos giving up possession in the middle of the field. Here's Hoffmeister to Skylar. He gets a little combination off of Matt. Little touch to try to get by his player. Skylar's wanting a foul. He might have got clipped, but referee is not awarding any foul there.
Now looked like a clean play, just cut off his angle from the pass and was able to just play some good defensive positioning there.
Good first touch from Alex Neff to find Tyler with space to work with. There's Austin on a big ball, trying to lay a ball back into Matt. Driven ball just about his head height. There's Joe Brown finding Camarina. He's seen a lot of the ball this first half. Foul called on Joe Barakat. Just on the other side of that midfield stripe, so you get a look at the stands and the 12th Wolverine this Halloween night.
Bit of a smaller crowd than we're used to here at Clyde Field. Certainly not due to the weather, probably due more to, it looks like there's still a bunch of cars there in the parking lot, some kids finishing up school and other people headed out getting ready for their Halloween festivities tonight.
Big ball played to Matt Gay. UVU has had, they've 6th in the nation at one point for attendance. On homecoming night against Gonzaga University, they had 3,209 fans. Shows the potential of the growth here. It's just a perfect soccer market for a Division I program.
When you're the only program in the state and you come in with a lot of hype and bring in a coach like Greg Moss, you know, you're going to be able to pull a fan base that is excited and interested, and if you keep winning at home, the fans are going to keep showing up. That's just the nature of the beast.
We've got about 13 minutes left in the first half as we see some more changes about to take place in the game for substitutions. Here's Will Redmond on the ball, goes back to his keeper, Kieran O'Boyle. Coach Moss yelling at Buxton and put higher pressure. Put him under pressure. And here's Skylar Mill yet again winning a header.
It's an uncontested header.
Who almost finds Austin Buxton. Looks like an offside flag was raised. UVU has been very close on a few different occasions, combining in the attacking third, almost getting that final pass to spring their attacking players into good spots to have shots on goal. Just need that finishing product. And here's Alex Neff against Ben Conway. Ben Conway fights through the challenge, finds Ryan Osborne. He does a little cut.
Referee plays advantage there, looked like, and unfortunately for Incarnate Word, nothing came of it.
Carson Payton trying to combine with, looks like Matt Gay, and ball's picked off. That's when Carson fouls to prevent the counterattack. Here's Incarnate Word looking to play the other way.
It's called offsides there. Nobody's on him though.
Yeah, Ben Conway found just a perfect little real estate of space right inside the box.
Just inside the penalty spot. I guess it was prime location because it was an illegal location.
Got a couple of changes lined up here at the midfield stripe, ready to come into the game. Big ball played. Here's Skylar winning the ball and playing back to Alex Neff. He plays Carson. Carson plays back to the midfield. Skylar finds the other side of the field to Joe Barakat. Little good possession from your UVU Wolverines to test the Cardinals. Get them to chase a bit. Here's Skylar Milne on the ball. Back to Joe Barakat. He finds a ball across the field. That's picked off. Ryan Osborne, but his header gets cut off by Alex Neff. And here's Matt Gay with time to turn. Space in front of him. He shoots from distance.
Way downtown.
Just goes over the top. Entering the game for UVU, Hargindegi, Thomas Loomis, and David Adams. Leaving the game is Carson Payton, Matt Gay, and Connor Salmon. Leaving the game for Incarnate is you've got Alonzo Gallegos, and
De La Garza.
De La Garza. There's David Adams challenging in the middle of the field. Like I mentioned, he just got his mission call going to Berlin, Germany after this semester. His Incarnate Word going to play a ball across the face. Skylar Milne won't have anything to do with it. Clears it all the way over the bleachers.
Andrew Grossman checked in there for the Cardinal.
Looks like number 27, Michael Forbes, in the middle of the field. Andrew Grossman, number 21, still remains in the middle. There's Austin Buxton playing a ball. Here's Thomas Loomis, 2010 Gatorade Player of the Year from Brighton High School. He transferred from Cal Poly, I believe it was. He redshirted there as a freshman. David Adams, we mentioned before, had some trials with Wilhelm in Holland. Also spent some time with Querétaro FC out of Mexico. This is a set piece that could be dangerous for the Cardinals.
It's the first corner of the day. 38 minutes into the game.
Short ball, and now served in, and that ball is headed away by Alex Neff. So Thomas Loomis transferred from Cal State Fullerton, not Cal Poly, correction. And like I mentioned, he was the 2010 Utah Gatorade Player of the Year. He also had a 3.5 GPA. He served his mission to Santiago, Chile. So he speaks Spanish fluently, majoring in communications and minor in marketing. David Adams is majoring in business management. Hargindegi, I have talked about in other broadcasts. He's a 3-star recruit from TopDrawerSoccer.com. He's a 5-year starter for Arizona ODP, and he spent some time with the US Youth Soccer National Training Center. He played club with Scottsdale Blackhawks. As we see stoppage in the middle of the field to attend to Joe Barakat.
Looks like he got knocked around on that corner.
He will be changed on the substitution. Looks like Joe Barakat will be coming off the field, and Peyton Pemberton will enter the field as that right outside defender. He's seen a lot of action this season, so nothing new for him. There's Skylar with his big legs. Thomas Loomis in an offside position. That time the timing on the center backs to step was on. But if we've seen 3 times now, we saw Austin Buxton, also Matt Gay time that run perfectly, where they stayed onside when the Cardinals stepped. That could lead into a free breakaway chance to take Kieran O'Boyle on 1v1.
As a forward, you're looking for Buxton to play that ball maybe a touch or two earlier so that run stays onside. That timing will come between that partnership. They've only been on the field together for just a few minutes now.
Alex Neff does extremely well, like he always does, to use his body, fend off the defender. Number 11, Ryan Osborne, to win a goal kick with just about 6 minutes left in this first half of play. There's Colin playing big. Here's Hargindegi getting up to challenge. There's Tyler Brown trying to play a first-time ball. Robert Pratt checks back into the space, and he tries to spring Chijoka Akujuobi. Apologize for that pronunciation.
Straight out of Houston, Texas.
That's one I'll practice during halftime, I promise you that. Here's David Adams finding Austin Buxton. Can he shoot from, he finds David Adams. He does a little soul roll to try to beat his defender. There's Will Redmond trying to counter. Skyler puts his big leg in the way, but Thomas Loomis gives it right back. As Ryan Osborne's back on the ball. Ben Conway checking back at midfield stripe as your forward to get possession. And here's Robert Pratt out wide that loses the ball just off a skip, goes out of play.
You know, in your defense, Sean, we weren't provided with a pronunciation guide from Incarnate Word, so for you fans out there listening, playing along with us,
if you want to
give us a little leeway.
If you want to tweet that pronunciation, if you're listening to either myself, Sean Blymiller, SHAWNBLYMILLER, or Caleb Reeve, and that is
at Caleb Reeve, CALEBREEVE.
Here's, shot from about 35 yards out from Hoffmeister. Goes over the top. Substitution. Chandler Boyd goes onto the field for Austin Buxton. Chandler's from Midvale, Utah. He went to Hillcrest High School. He won state championship 5 times with Inter. He also won the Surf Cup at the U18 Gold Division, and he led the Inter FC squad to the semifinal round of Far West Regional Championships.
Coming off the substitute Buxton, he did a good job out there. He ran hard and had some good balls, some good interplay with his forwards that were out there playing with him.
I'm excited to see Austin develop over the next couple of years because he is gifted as an athlete, so fast. He's got a good frame. As he gets to know the spaces a little bit better, it's just going to help in his experience. And there's Alex Neff, Cameron Kidwell doing what he does best, winning possession.
That's important in these last few minutes for the Wolverines if they want to keep a clean sheet to win those balls in their own box and make sure they play it out safely.
Here's a ball out wide to Ryan Osborne. It's cut off by Alex Neff and a little nutbag. Looks like Ben Conway.
Foul just outside the box. Cardinals will have a nice little set piece just outside the 18 to the keeper's left. Keeper will be looking into the sun. May pose a little bit of an issue as he's staring right into it.
Ben Conway had a creative little touch to go by Alex Neff, little nutbag to get by him, forces Alex into the foul. Looks like Jonathan Camarina is on this set piece. He serves a driven ball. Nick Hargindegi clears out wide.
UVU's got some big defenders back there for those set pieces. They do a good job of getting to those headers first and clearing them out.
There's Peyton Pepperton with the header. And here's Thomas Loomis in a foot race, trying to fight off, looks like Michael Forbes, and he does enough to win the foul.
Minute 40 left here in this half. UVU with the free kick on their own, right inside their own half. Looking to put a long ball up, make something dangerous out of this. We'll see if they can sneak a goal in right before halftime.
You see Skyler and also Nick top of the 18-yard box. Both these guys stand at 6'4" and 6'5" respectively. This is where if they put it in a dangerous spot, can they challenge 6'2" Kieran O'Boyle. Kieran off his line. Here's Tyler. Tries to set his feet for a shot. This no foul whistled. Tyler's still on the ground.
1 minute remaining.
Tyler Brown got sniped pretty hard there on that. Right as he was about to take a shot, Cardinal defenseman came in and got the ball. The ref didn't call a foul. It's hard to say.
Those are vulnerable positions when you're in a full motion of striking a ball. You've got your plant foot down. Your focus is on hitting the ball clean, and he just got collision afterwards.
Keeper here's taking his time. 20 seconds left in the half. Looks like we're going 0-0.
13 seconds on the clock. Skylar Milne wins another header. Thomas working to maybe get something on the end of that. Ball goes out of bounds for a throw, and the half will end just like that, tied 0-0. Both teams have had probably about the same number of chances. Most of the action in the center of the field. It'll be important to see who's going to be able to break down the final third defensive shape of the other team. And what is your first impression of that first half?
Yeah, like you said, a lot of play from box to box, but once they get into that final part of the field, it's hard for either team to make those final passes and connect and be dangerous and get shots on goal. So we'll see if what kind of changes the coaching staffs make at halftime to see if they can figure out each other's defense and how to connect those passes there at the end and get some shots and see if we can get some goals here in the second half.
Well, and you saw from both teams have a lot of depth on their bench, a lot of options for both coaches to draw from of who they're going to bring in to make the difference in the game. But we stand at 0-0 so far the first half. Make sure you stay with us. We will take a break for just a few minutes. The stream will stay live. You can watch the dancers about the midfield stripe, but we will be right back with you in just about 14 minutes or so. Make sure you rejoin us.
Let's hear it for the UVU dance team. Fans, please direct your attention to center field for a special presentation. The Wolverine Club is the official fundraising arm of UVU Athletics. It supports our 330 student athletes by providing scholarship support and necessary funding for each of our teams. Tonight, we recognize a few of our generous supporters of the men's and women's soccer teams. Each of these donors will receive a ball signed by the men's and women's team as a small token of our gratitude for their support. We would first like to thank the following people who unfortunately could not join us tonight. Stephen Lamb, Ray Kelly, April Dorowski, and Steve Schallenberger. Now, please welcome Kevin Driggs representing I Am Flash Technologies. Fans, please join with us in thanking these tremendous supporters of UVU soccer.
Incredibly special for you now. We're going to have a little pillow fight out on the field. This is sponsored by the Spring Hill and Courtyard Suites of Provo. The winner is going to receive a one-night stay at the location that we have selected. We have our two contestants. We have Phil Varney and Eric Garcia, okay? You guys are going to fight for 30 seconds, fans. You need to pay attention who has the best technique, the best form. This is an art. So after 30 seconds, the fans will decide the winners. Gentlemen, are you ready? Okay, I think they're ready. Okay, guys, we got some inspirational music playing for you, so let's see this pillow fight. You ready? 1, 2, 3.
This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. She's walking on fire.
Bill seems to have a height advantage. Aaron seems to have a little bit of a strength advantage. And I believe this is illegal. We got 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Alright, wrap it up. Hold on. Alright, let's separate them. Good work, gentlemen. It's gonna be tough to decide a winner from that bout. All right, so Aaron, if you'll raise your hand. Aaron, will you raise your hand? Ben, if you think Aaron won, let's hear you cheer for him. And Phil? Phil, raise your hand. Who is it? Willie? Did Willie win the stake? Okay, one more time. Aaron, raise your hand. Phil? Raise your hand, Phil. I'm going to give it to Phil. Good work, Phil. You've won a free night stay at the Courtyard Hill Suites Marriott in Provo.
Fans, be sure to join us back at Midfield tomorrow at noon as the women's soccer team faces off versus Seattle in their last home match of the year. The men's soccer team returns home Sunday for their final home match versus Houston Baptist in 1. Students, if you're looking for half-price Insomnia tickets, please head to the southeast corner of the field. Adidas is now the official outfitter of UVU Athletics. To check out Adidas apparel, visit adidas.com. Gold's Gym is Utah County's premier fitness facility. With 5 locations in Utah County, Gold's Gym, the workout place for Wolverine athletics. Pepsi is proud to be a major sponsor of UVU Athletics. Pepsi, every generation refreshes the world. Wolverine fans, UVU Athletics is part of the 7 Ps, pass of all passes. Show up to any UVU athletic event, show your pass, and receive free admission. Tonight's event is in part sponsored by Intermountain Utah Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the official healthcare providers for the UVU Wolverines. Our doctors are helping athletes get back in the game. Fans, like the official Facebook page Wolverine Athletics and check out the fan photo album by visiting facebook.com/Utah Valley Wolverines. Come in to Timpanogos Harley-Davidson and experience our incredible building and world-class customer service. We are your one-stop shopping place for everything Harley. Remember, we rock so you can roll.
And welcome back to Clyde Field here in Orem, Utah. As you see the sun shining on this beautiful field, and I still can't get over it, how beautiful this day is on October 31st for a beautiful soccer match here in Orem, Utah. As you see Alex Neff joining his side just about the midfield stripe as we get the second half underway. Well, a few things I wanted to bring up. UVU had 3 freshmen among the top 100 on Top Drawer Soccer.com's list. They had the top 100 Division I players that was released on October 22nd, and you have Lucas Cawley at number 29, Colin Partey at number 47, and Matt Gay at number 62.
It just shows you that they've done a good job recruiting. They had that year to prepare. UVU had a year to prepare to get their soccer program up and running. They did a good job recruiting, brought in some really good young talent. These guys are going to be around for a while, and you can only expect this team's going to get better and better each year.
As you hear the whistle, and here we go for the second half. Looks like Connor Salmon starting in the middle, and here is Joe Barakat.
Hoffmeister coming back in.
There's Cameron playing a ball, a big ball driven, almost springs Lucas Cawley.
Backside, Joe.
And here is the Cardinals back on the ball. Decent first touch. It looks like from Victor Pinal. He was named by Top Drawer as one of the top players, top 20 players for the Western Athletic Conference this last week. You saw his ability with that first touch. Ball is just about his hip. Driven ball that's going to fly past him, and he takes it down. But it's cleared away from danger. Here are the Cardinals. A ball shot from the corner that just falls innocently right to Colin Partey's hands. He punts a big one. Here's Matt challenging, colliding with Joe Brown.
Referee there called an elbow on Matt Gay, looks like, when he went up for that challenge for that header.
Looks like in the center of the field you have Andrew Grossman and Alonzo Gallegos back in for the Cardinals. Big ball that goes over everyone. Never presented any real danger. Ball for a goal kick. And here's your number 47 on the Top Drawer Soccer's best freshman in the country, Colin Partey. Here's the Cardinals back into possession, but picked off by Tyler Brown. He keeps running, almost gets on the end of it. Here's a clearance. It's going to go out of play for a throw-in for your Wolverines.
Tried to gut him up the middle there, ran into 5 or 6 defenders. Holding him up, wasn't able to get through.
Here's Matt Gay using that big frame to win a free kick. Here's a chance for Cameron Kidwell and Skylar Milne to trot into the box to get on the end of a service. Looks like Carson Payton setting his feet to have this service. Joe Barakat is isolated with number 7, Alejandro de la Garza. And here's the service, one hopper. Ooh, almost finds the foot of Alex Neff.
Just squirted by several UVU players there. One of them gets the bottom of a cleat, and that ball gets redirected into the side net. And you see the Wolverines up. It was not to be.
Hofmeister yelling back to his outside back to help him in the pressure. And here's Victor Pinal joined alongside De La Garza. Victor out wide. Look for the swing. Lucas Colley tracks it, and Tyler Brown picks it off. But he puts it right back into Cardinals to win, but here's Alex Neff to clean it up. There's Matt Gay checking back to win possession. And here's Skylar to Tyler. And back into possession. Looks like Gallegos puts a ball down the line, but Alex Neff shepherds the ball out of play for a goal kick.
Joe. Puffy, coach later, step up.
Utah Valley and the NCAA rankings for the Western region stands at 7 in the ranking. Seattle University still stands at number 2, and UNLV is at number 1. The two ranking systems that have a lot of significance is topdrawersoccer.com and also NSCAA.com, which is the National Soccer Coaches Association. Joe Barracat with a little step. Victor Pino gets the ball. Here he is on the races to cut down in space. Joe Barracat does well to cut off the little chipped ball into De La Garza to put it out of play for a corner. Number 15, Elliot Nelson, enters the game for number 8, Will Redmond. Looks like he took a knock. He's not running at full pace. Here's a chance for the Cardinals to serve a corner kick. And who else but Skylar Milne to win the header. Here's Victor to put it back in. Flick onto the far post. Ball just doesn't get by Colin Partee, goes out of play, hitting the side netting on the outside of the goal.
Joe, make sure we stay alive on that second ball. Talk to us. Stay alive on the second ball.
Already 7 minutes into the second half. Cardinals have had the better chances so far in the second half. Little shoulder pass from Skylar gets picked off. Immediate pressure from Matt Gay, Lucas Colley, and Carson Payton to force that ball out to be played out of bounds.
You'll see that with a little bit of pressure added in that defensive third, especially at this level. Sometimes the touch will get away from them, and they'll just clear that ball out and play it safe.
Stoppages for Connor Salmon to be able to tie his shoe, and here we go to restart play. Matt Gay trying to force his way through. Ball goes under the foot of De La Garza. Gallegos getting the ball and trying to spray a ball forward. Alex Neff steps into the gap and heads it right to Skylar Milne's foot.
Nice confident header there. Play the ball to an open teammate. Get it under control.
Matt Gay builds up strong frame to hold his defender off. Paul Hofmeister just out of reach of him. Little combination play right in the middle of the field to Andrew Grossman. He finds De La Garza. He serves a ball into the box, cut off by Alex Neff. Carson Payton settles it off his chest, plays it out wide. Can Tyler Brown keep it in play? He does just that. But skips by him.
Strong challenge there. Regain possession of the ball.
Skylar
A little choppy play here.
wins the foul about the midfield stripe. You see his agility, his talent and ability on the ball. There's our first yellow card of the match. Awarded, looks like to number, is that number 8? We'll let you know here in just a second. Sorry, that's number 6, Robert Pratt. There's Alex serving a ball. Paul Hoffmeister trying to get in and challenge. This confident header from Jonathan Camarina to head it back to his keeper with a lot of traffic inside that penalty area. Hoffmeister works to spring Carson. He tries to beat Alex Hoyle on the dribble, and Alex cuts that touch off, cuts it out. Gallegos serves a long ball to Ben Conway. Cameron Kidwell tracks him. He sets his feet. Strike from top of the 18, goes over the top.
Trying to jump on an opportunity, ball falling at his feet, but just couldn't get that shot down and peeled it off his foot over the goal.
Found a little pocket of space just on top of the 18. It's a difficult ability, difficult skill to be able to perform, especially under pressure.
Yeah, UVU defender there to make sure he didn't have any time to set himself up and get a good strike on that ball.
Sliding tackle in the middle of the field, but you see the ability and the strength from Skylar Milne. Tyler combining with Lucas Colley. Joe Barakat on this side coming wider to offer that space. Good first touch from Matt to be able to turn his defender. Connor Salmon does well to hold his player off. Here's Carson Payton. Ooh, that's gonna be a free kick. This one about 30 yards from goal.
Good opportunity here for the Wolverines to put a dangerous shot on. You've got a couple of options. You're close enough that you can have a shot on goal, maybe bend it around the wall and get it down past the keeper in time. You can also look to serve it up and get a header down onto a ball or a volley. Let's see what we've got coming up. Matt Gay's lining it up.
Matt Gay just scored a set piece from at Air Force, about 25 yards out. Just a line drive laser. You can find that on WolverineGreen.com. Highlights from that match. See if he can bring that same type of ball.
An interesting tactic from the Wolverines, just standing in front of the opposing keeper, and they're standing in an offside position, and it would get called if they took the shot and interfered with the play. It looks like they stepped away from the goalie there.
And here is Matt Gay with the strike. Oh, good save from Kieran O'Brien. Ball falls to the feet of Hoffmeister, just barely out of reach. He almost redirects that right back onto frame.
Keeper made the save, gave up a rebound, and it just toe poked it wide. That long outstretched leg there from Hoffmeister.
That's a good strike from Matt Gay. The ball just was on a rope. No bounce that time. Ball falls to Gallegos, little turn to find space, combine out wide with De La Garza. He serves a ball that's going to be cut off by Colin Partey.
The easy routine cross in there for Partey to grab and distribute now. See what the Wolverines can do.
He punts it big and long. Oh, Matt has a great first touch. Here's Hoffmeister. His touch just gets away from him. He's cut off. Looks like by number 15, Elliot Nelson, who came on for Will Redmond.
You see Matt Gay there having a talk with the referee. Thought he got fouled there.
I think he did well enough to hold the defender off and win possession for Hoffmeister to be streaking forward. Skylar Milne winning probably his 10th header of the game. And there's Tyler Brown finding Matt Gay's feet. Good combination from this. You see Tyler on a race. He's trying to find his supporting runs.
Oh, just puts in a bad ball. Don't know if there's a miscommunication. Thought he saw somebody, but kicked it right there to the other player, other team.
Here's De La Garza finding Victor Pinal. Back to Andrew Grossman. And Cameron Kidwell pops into that space to cut it off, and here's Carson to counter the other direction. He serves a ball for Lucas. Lucas is isolated against Elliot Nelson. He cuts him to the inside. Goes outside again. And wins a corner kick. Good work from Lucas Colley. Clydefield has been a favorable place for UVU to play. They've had good results here despite the one loss they faced against UNLV. That day was extremely windy, and they fell suspect to a horrible call from center referee to give up that result 1-0. Other than that, they've been able to beat ranked sides. Denver University, who were 21st in the nation at that time. They also tied Seattle University, who was ranked at that time as well, and Gonzaga.
Yeah, some good games here at home for the Wolverines. They've got a 4-1-1 record before today's game.
Looks like Robert Platt trying to find Victor Pinal. Slide tackle from Kidwell to put it out of play.
Quick throw in.
De La Garza goes back to Jonathan Camarina. He flies the ball to Pratt. And back to De La Garza. Out to Victor Pinal. What a perfect slide tackle. And then he does the worst he could do. Oh, bending ball.
Had a good angle from it here as Bennett just didn't quite get there. Gotta worry, you know, Kidwell does a great job at coming in and making that tackle, pops up and then plays a poor ball right to the middle of the field, gives it up, and fortunately for UVU, Cardinal weren't able to capitalize on it.
You know, sometimes when you get into those jousts, those 50-50 tackles, the challenge is when you get up, your legs are heavy, you're not able to strike a ball as well as if you hadn't had to have slide, and that's a handball. Ball popped into the elbow, referee did not see.
Looks like the linesman had a good angle on it. Maybe he wasn't looking. I don't know, it looked like a handball from here.
Ball trying to find down the line, and Tyler just misread between Matt Gay and Carson Payton. There's been more of a track meet to this game. Oh, this is a good ball, dangerous for Ben Conway. He cuts inside to his left foot, strike. Ooh, just goes wide.
Does a good job there getting in, shaking the defender, taking the ball inside on his left foot, putting it just wide. Really good opportunity there for the Cardinals to get on the board, but couldn't convert.
Action has been end-to-end in the second half. More opportunities than the first half, that is for sure. there's Skylar Milne getting up and winning the flick on.
It's almost like they're not even challenging when Milne goes up for the ball. The other Incarnate Word is just standing idly by, waiting for him, expecting him to win the ball and just playing that second ball.
He's a huge presence in the middle of the field. People look up to him both physically and literally,
When
but
he's standing
also figuratively.
he's standing on the other side of the field and he looks like a normal-sized guy. He just keeps getting bigger and bigger the closer he gets.
Ball falls to the foot of Alex Hoyle, who allows Kieran O'Boyle to step and play a big one. Here's Lucas Colley on the ball in the middle of the field. He finds Tyler Brown, looking to find possession to keep the ball. Big ball out wide to Paul Hoffmeister. Ball tried to play down the line of Hoffmeister with a little flick. Jonathan Camarena just skips by him. De La Garza goes to Robert Pratt. Ooh, that is a big tackle, but Carson's got space in front of him. Matt Gay is offside. This will not count. It looks like number 6, Robert Pratt, took the brunt of that collision. He is just hunched over in pain, just about right at the midfield stripe. Get a stoppage for him to get attention from the trainers. Looked like both the UVU and his own teammate collided with him at full sprint. Hopefully he's okay.
Skylar! Lucas! Luke! You and Sky!
You know, football is here, is present in Orem, Utah for men's soccer. First inaugural season for Utah Valley Wolverines. Has been, a lot of people would measure as success, but I know that they are eager to get further results to qualify for the tournament, and then also make it farther into the tournament than most would expect, as we see substitutions for Utah Valley Wolverines. Looks like Tyler Brown is leaving the game, as well as Carson Payton. Entering the game is Chandler Badley and Austin Buxton.
Yeah, Orem, Utah, the mecca for college soccer here in the state of Utah. Riding the strong wind, filling those sails of Real Salt Lake. Made it to the playoffs this year again. The 7th year in a row, I think it is. They're playing LA Galaxy tomorrow at 6 o'clock at the Rio Tinto Stadium. Should be an exciting match.
You know what's fun is that, speaking of that interaction, that relationship with Real Salt Lake, Bill Manning and Jason Kreis had positive things to say about Coach Moss and their relationship with him. Coach Moss coaching the U17 Real Salt Lake team for 5 years. But Kyle Beckerman came out here earlier this year and met with the team, spent some time with them. One quote he said to them was, "It doesn't matter what you do after wins, but what you do after losses that will really dictate your character as a team." One shot from De La Garza. He's asking for a corner, but so it's cool to see that interaction, and that Kyle Beckerman is a Utah Valley Wolverine fan, and to see that example and that leadership that he can play with these young athletes.
Yeah, you've got it's a great opportunity for these players here at UVU, you know, being in Real Salt Lake's backyard. That association that Coach Moss has with the management over there at Real Salt Lake, you know, can provide a real opportunity for some of these players to get an eye. You know, it's going to be a good recruiting tool that they can use for future classes that You know, you've got the eyes and ears of Real Salt Lake coaches and managers, you know, just a few miles up the street. So look for continual strong recruiting classes from UVU because of that relationship.
Yeah, Carson Payton, captain, has spent some time training with Real Salt Lake with the reserves, and they had talked about that as well, as the Real Salt Lake coaching staff doesn't have to jump onto an airplane to come and check out Division I men's soccer games. They can come just 30-40 minutes down the freeway to check out future prospects, whether they play for UVU or if they play competition that has other players they would be interested in.
Yeah, those opportunities may come sooner than later as well, with the announcement of the Real Monarchs, a USL Pro side that Real Salt Lake will be bringing on in the 2015 season. You may be able to see some of these players maybe get called up and go on loan during the off season.
De La Garza lets the ball fall just under his foot. And for the second time today, I said that Carson Payton was subbed when he wasn't. He remains on the field.
You're determined to make sure he gets subbed at some point. He's doing his best to stay out there, though.
He's faking me out, being on the sideline, walking over to talk to coaching staff. Looks like he is being subbed, but has remained on the field. He is an important factor on this team, him being the second leading point winner for the team. Matt Gay leading with total 6 goals and 3 assists, when Carson Payton has 3 goals and 2 assists. He is a leader on this team. Here's Austin Buxton using that athletic ability to take off. He plays the ball back to Hoffmeister. He puts it on his right foot and just gets underneath it. Doesn't really contact the ball true and through.
Just leaned back a little bit. That ball sailed on him. Had a good opportunity to put one on frame and didn't capitalize. It's too bad.
There's Kieran O'Brien playing a big ball, and their number 21 wins the header. Here's De La Garza isolated with Joe Barakat. This could be dangerous. Oh, ball's just bouncing around inside the 18. Can they clear it away? Shot from distance. Ball popping in and out of just a dangerous spot. De La Garza had to go. It looked like Alonzo Gallegos had to go.
Yeah, ball's getting knocked around there, and UVU defenders are able to get in front of it, deflect it, and this goes out for a corner kick.
You see the numbers inside the penalty box for the Wolverines defending. You've got Matt Gay standing at the midfield stripe alone. Ball served in. Far side is wide open. Ooh, ball spills just at the 6. Victor Pinal took that on a full volley.
Yeah, plucked it right out of the air.
Colin Partey was right there. Wasn't able to bring it in and corral it. Kind of fell at the 6-yard box, but his teammates were there to put the ball away from danger. Here's Lucas Colley going the other way. Coach Moss giving instruction for the ball to keep moving. As you see the Wolverines expand and get bigger, try to stretch this Cardinal defense out. Here's Hoffmeister on the go again, winning a foul, and this is another chance for Matt Gay.
Dangerous position for a free kick.
Last time we saw him put it right on frame. The second chance was almost buried by Hoffmeister. And here is that the same type of psychological impact that they've got 2 players in front of Kieran O'Boyle, blocking his vision on setting the wall. It's a different tactic, but interesting nonetheless.
Getting caught up watching this Green Man group. There's like a troll-looking thing with big blonde wig. Just.
And here's Matt Gay with his approach. Good strike. Ooh. Again, Kieran O'Boyle up to the task. Here's Hoffmeister again on the ball. Carson Payton serves the ball back in.
Just a wasted ball into the middle there.
Yeah, Matt Gay can strike a laser. It's coming off his foot, flying at that pace. It'd be fun to clock how fast that ball is moving.
It's like Elliot Nelson coming off and William Redmond going on for the Cardinals.
Sun's starting to set here at Clyde Field. Kieran O'Boyle serving a ball and falls to Austin Buxton. Here's Carson Payton serving a ball to Austin. He has some jets. Ooh, he almost gets by his defender. It looks like Alex Hoyle did well to use his body and hold off Austin. I think Austin can beat him in a foot race. Alex Hoyle from Dallas, Texas, and from Highland Park High School.
Getting some encouraging words from coach, telling him to keep at it and keep putting that pressure on.
A little heel flick that pops up in the air. Austin Buxton has a ball about 35 yards from goal. Lucas Colley gets it at his feet, plays out wide to Chandler Badley from Layton, Utah. And here's Lucas on the ball again to Badley, to Hoffmeister, to Colley. Alex Neff looking to go play Kidwell, but then comes back to Carson Payton, who plays the ball to Colley, and Colley wins the foul after a clever first touch to pop over the defending challenge. Badley plays it back to Alex Neff. He serves a ball into the 18. Austin Buxton's just there, but Kieran Boyle's there to meet the challenge, make sure that Austin doesn't get a head on it. And here's Jonathan Camarina going the other way, serves a ball down the line, cut off by Joe Barakat. Quick little guy, number 3, Jonathan Camarina being dangerous. He combines it.
Came all the way from the left back position.
Wide open, De La Garza on the far 6, and the ball just goes over his head. That was a dangerous counterattack from the Cardinals, all sprung by Jonathan Camarina.
UVU very fortunate there, left him wide open all by himself. If that cross had come in on point, you're looking at a wide open net.
Jonathan Camarina stands at 5'7". Here's Hoffmeister that wins it in the middle of the field, springs Matt Gay.
Called him off sides.
Alonso Gallegos hearing it from his coaching staff after losing the ball in just such a vulnerable area.
Yes, some not incarnate words coming from the Cardinal bench coaching staff over there.
Here's the stoppage, set piece. Incarnate Word is in San Antonio, Texas. They were part of the Lone Star Conference in Division II before they made the transition to Division I.
It's good to see some of these schools coming up. You know, UVU came and joined up the ranks from an independent school into the D1 ranks, the first school in the history of
Matt Gay's just there
to do that.
But Kieran O'Boyle again up for the challenge. stands as 6'2", but he plays pretty big at Karen O'Boyle from Blackpool, England, and went to St. Mary's Catholic. He's a junior. He's done well for the Cardinals tonight. 2 huge saves on Matt Gay. Here's De La Garza cutting inside.
He's come up big when he's needed to.
That could
made those saves.
Yeah, could be the difference in the game for his play tonight.
Up, boys, up, back line. Midfield up, come on, Hoff. Rest, come on, Hoff, go.
The ball just popping up in the air. Ball falling to Andrew Grossman. He tries to find out wide. Ball falls back to the feet of Alex Neff. He serves a long one to Matt Gay. Just got about 13 minutes left in this second half. Keep in mind, if it remains tied, it will go into overtime. 2 10-minute halves.
Here on the sideline, you got Michael Forbes, been standing here for about 5 minutes waiting for a stoppage of play to get back into the game.
And there's a foul, won by Lucas Colley in the middle of the field. Lucas still on the turf. Helped up by his teammate and co-captain Skylar Milne. You've seen Incarnate Word playing that 4-2-3-1 style. You've got the 2 holding mids. That third midfield, central midfielder plays kind of like a withdrawn striker. Here's Hoffmeister.
Looking to take on a third of the Cardinal defense there.
Here's Victor Pinal trying to settle it, but Skylar Milne wins it. And here's Lucas Colley. It's on his left foot. He tries to find Austin Buxton.
Stayed onside.
Cleared out of play for a throw-in for UVU to get it back into play. There's Lucas Colley again on the ball. Chandler Badley gets it on his foot again. And here's Lucas Colley finding Skylar Milne. Joe Barricat's giving the width. Joe Barricat with a little shimmy to take a touch on the inside. Good run from Austin Buxton. Is he onside? Serves the ball across the face.
Just a toe poke's length away from getting one right there, and that ball comes zipping across inside the 6, and UVU can't get in there to take the opportunity to get up. Just 10 minutes left here. Looking for a late goal to get up. Give your team an opportunity to get a win at home.
Alonzo Gallegos comes off for Michael Forbes, which we had before mentioned. I think a lot of that has to do with him turning over the ball in the middle of the field. His coach is not happy with that. Paul Hoffmeister leaving the game for Nick Hargindegi. He will switch and flip sides with captain Carson Payton.
Get the 2 guys with the longest names on team subbing in for each other. How do you like that?
He's taking some practice with Hargindegi. I hope it's improved every time.
I'm not going to give it a shot yet.
Just under 10 minutes in the game. We talked earlier that UVU has given up late goals in 6 of their losses. So it'll be important to test their character of how to come away with results. Here at home, they were able to score late goals against Denver University, also Gonzaga, to pull away those victories.
I wonder if they can find some of that magic again here at home. You know, they're hoping they've got a game on Sunday at 11 o'clock here at Clyde Field. They'd probably like to go into that not having to worry about going into overtime and playing extra minutes if they don't have to.
They face against Houston Houston Baptist, who sit at the bottom of the Western Athletic Conference, is actually at 1 o'clock on Sunday, 1 p.m. But both those games very important. The final result of this and Sunday's match.
I was just talking about when I was going to get here, Sean.
Here's Ben Conway finding De La Garza. He gets it back after a half clearance. Kidwell tracks it down and now plays the big one. A little flick on by Buxton. He's trying to spring Carson, but Joe Brown cuts it off. Almost gets on the layback.
Barely got enough of that one to get it back to O'Boyle so he can clear it out. UVU back with the possession.
And here is your little Speedy Gonzalez, Jonathan Camarena. We saw him take off earlier in the game. And here's Ben Conway on his left foot. Little cut inside and shot just to the far post. Side netting, and that's Incarnate Word Cardinals going up 1-0 with about 8 minutes left in the game.
The good ball started off there with Camarena again, moving that ball up the field, doing a quick give and go.
Looked like Ben Conway had a little cut to the inside to beat Joe Barricat out wide.
Yeah,
Does extremely well to just slot it to the far post.
Yeah, just shook him, got a little bit of space that he needed, put that in, beat the goalie Partee, put it in the side net. Incarnate Word up 1-0 with 7.5 minutes to go. You're looking at the same problem UVU's faced several games this season, giving up a late goal. Now they're going to have to put in some extra work, see if they can equalize.
Carson Payton trying to take more responsibility on his shoulders, trying to beat a couple players. Here's Cameron Kidwell trying to challenge. He wins the foul. A little extracurricular activity going on off the ball after the foul was blown.
Hey, target! Hey, not too straight to the frame! Gosh, dang it.
Looks like a card was issued to number 2, Joe Brown.
Come on!
It looks like correct that was to number 2, Joe Barricat, for the push after the fact.
Equalize! Come on! Come on!
Got the entire UVU team minus the goalie and the guy taking the kick pushed up. Long ball into the box.
Little flick down header from Matt Gay. And here's Lucas Cawley doing well to fend off his player. Playing back to Joe Barricat. Lucas, a good turn, opening up his hips. Taking on, looks like Camarena and also De La Garza. Here's Victor Pinal with some space. Good little quick turn. That's a win from Joe Barricat. Should be a UVU ball.
But it's not. Referee calls it for the Cardinals.
Stay high! Come on!
Just before the throw, and we get a substitution for UVU. Or not.
It looked like Joe Barricat was trying to get a replay for UVU to get possession. Here's Jonathan Camarena playing back to Alex Hoyle. Alex Hoyle playing a big. Joe Barricat heading it out wide for a throw. 6 minutes left on the clock.
Chandler, you got to stay as high as you can. Go offsides, press it, pressure everything. Look for that Chandler moment.
There's a turn from Victor Pinal. He shoots from distance. Goes innocently over for a goal kick, and here are the changes.
Alex!
Paul Hoffmeister enters the game, as well as Chandler Boyd.
Looks like UVU's going to put some offensive power in here last 5 minutes of this game. Taking out a defender, putting in an extra forward. You know, they've got to do something to try to get a point here before this game ends.
They go to 3 in the back with Cameron Kidwell, Joe Barricat, and Chandler Badley in the back. Chandler Boyd goes up high. He subbed in for Alex Neff. Here's the counterattack. This is where you can fall susceptible for chances when you go to 3 in the back, but 5 minutes to go. I think Coach Moss is forced into this decision. Try to throw numbers forward. Here's Camarena on the overlap. He's got De La Garza on. This is a support. Here he is serving a ball. Cuts it back. Lucas Colley cleans it up. Trying to spring Hoffmeister. A little
Hoffmeister just blows by him right there.
change of pace from him. Matt Gay trying to get on his right foot. He can shoot from distance. Ball falls to Carson Payton. But good defense from Jonathan Camarena. Here's Skylar on a challenge. He slides and wins it, but puts it out of play. 4 minutes left in the game.
We've got the whole UVU bench standing up at the edge of the technical area, trying to get their team pumped up and in this game.
Here's Chandler Boyd. He cuts a ball back.
And it's
Hoffmeister ties it. What a great substitution from Coach Moss just 2 minutes ago. Chandler Boyd gets down the sideline, cuts it back, and Hoffmeister just tucks it away. Both the substitutions that Coach Moss makes just 2 minutes ago is the difference.
You've got the Cardinal defenders just throwing their bodies out there. They couldn't get to the ball. Hoffmeister slots a nice low shot, beats the keeper, puts it in the net, 1-1.
Alex Neff goes back into the game for Austin Buxton. Looks like the UVU Wolverines will go back to 4 across the back. And that gamble pays off. They find a way back in to tie it with less than 5 minutes left. Clock down to 3 minutes and 40 seconds in the game so far. Big ball played, but no one around. Falls for a goal kick for Colin Partey.
Got the UVU bench really excited. A lot of defeat on those Incarnate Word Cardinals defenders as they were getting up from that goal. Crawling up off the ground and heads hung low. They're looking fairly disappointed to give up that late goal.
And there's a foul. Skylar Milne battles in the middle of the field against number 27. That's Michael Forbes. Can UVU steal it here late? Less than 3 minutes left in the game.
Looking to poach one late, pull off a surprise come from behind win.
Look for Skylar Milne's head. Looks like Cameron Kidwell's in the box as well. Chandler Boyd is there for a challenge.
Ooh. Getting held up a bit by the Cardinal defender there. Let him go just as the ball was coming in, couldn't get to it.
2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. Looks like Kieran O'Boyle's taking his time. Momentum has shifted a little bit. Ooh, a little miscommunication between Cameron Kidwell and Chandler, but it's okay. Life goes on, ball goes forward. Carson Payton has some space. Good first touch off his chest. Here's Matt Gay in the middle of the field. Can he find him?
Just in front of him. Made a good run there.
What an outstanding first touch off of Carson's chest. Looked like Jonathan Camarena was cheating for Carson to take that off of his foot and just caught him by surprise to beat him. Here's Chandler Boyd on the ball, finding Hoffmeister. cutting back to his right foot and finding Lucas Cawley. He shoots from distance. Looked like it went off of Matt Gay's shin for a goal kick. Just about a minute left in this game. Can UVU create one more opportunity to try to steal this and take victory? Or will we be destined for overtime?
It looks like it's headed that way. O'Boyle's out there taking his time, getting this ball down for the goal kick. Looks like Cardinal want to take their chances in overtime.
Ball falls to Skylar Milne's foot. Carson takes a touch down the sideline. Jonathan Camarena cuts him off. Should be an obstruction call. No foul is called. Victor Pinoff finds the other side of the field. Oh, it looks like number 9 Penn Conway settles the ball, but it's poked away by, looks like Alex Neff.
Got to get a little nervous right there with 17 seconds left. Guy right there in your box trying to find that shot.
And that's where we will end regulation, tied 1-1. Looked like for a minute that Incarnate Word was going to come in here and run away with it in the closing 10 minutes of the game, but you see the fight, you see the character from the Utah Valley Wolverines to claw their way back into the game when substitution Chandler Boyd streaking down the sideline and down the inline cuts a ball back to Paul Huffmeister, who just tucks the ball into the lower right-hand corner of the net.
You look at that brilliant substitution. Both of those guys had just come onto the field. Coach Moss put them on with just 7 minutes left to go in and make a difference, and the two meet up and put in that tying goal to make sure the Wolverines don't lose here in regulation at Clyde Field. Hoffmeister with a silky touch on that ball to put it in the net and beat the keeper.
Those kids paying attention and watching maybe the highlights or watching this live stream, take note of that ability from your boy Paul Hoffmeister. He's about the penalty spot when he strikes the ball, but he didn't kill it. He didn't try to just crush the ball. He just placed that side foot, the lower corner, to make sure to secure that tie.
Apparently the Cardinals didn't get the memo to not hassle the Hoffmeister.
So we got about 3 minutes before the overtime will begin. Incarnate Word overall, their overall standings is 6-7-0. In conference, they're 5-1-0. Utah Valley overall is 6-6-1. Conference is 2-3-1.
Looking at the stats here, you know, we've got Incarnate Word with 12 shots, Utah Valley with 12 shots, 1 goal apiece, and Incarnate Word with 13 fouls and Utah Valley with 6.
It's been a pretty even match back and forth. So we've got head referee Dion Telton in front of us. He's saying that he called that first goal. He predicted it. But he's not going to tell us who wins the game tonight. He doesn't want to reveal that.
Keeping it under wraps.
So, reminder of overtime rules. It is golden goal. First team to score will declare themselves winners. If it remains tied, they will play the 2 10-minute halves, the entire period of each 10-minute half. But if a goal is scored, the time will be ended. So we've mentioned in 6 losses for UVU that they've given up 5 late goals, and 2 of those have been in overtime. One against University of California, Irvine, who were ranked 4th in the nation at the time, and the other against Seattle University.
Yeah, just 4 minutes left, I think, if I recall, against that UC Irvine team in the second period of overtime. Gave up that late goal. It shows UVU's fight and resolve. You know, they've been in a lot of these games. You know, with a turn of the tide, they've got maybe 10 wins this season if they can just keep those goals out of the net at the end of the games. We'll see what happens here beginning of the first overtime period.
Going back to the quote, and I'll try to find it from the write-up that was written about the visit for Kyle Beckerman to Utah Valley University. He met with both the men's and women's program, came to training, spent some time with them, also visited with them from his experience as a professional athlete, professional player. And again, the overall meaning of the message he was delivering to the players was the difference is what you learn from the losses. And UVU's had a few of those bitter losses this year where they fought and they were competing against some of the top competition in the country. And in those closing moments, they made some mistakes that led to goals where they lost those games. So tonight, are they going to prove that they've learned from those games? At the start of the game, it was 73 degrees and clear. The sun has started to set on this Halloween night, and the wind has chilled the evening just a little bit, but it has heated up in the last 30 minutes of the game, where we've seen more action. Is actually the last 10 minutes of the game. We saw 2 goals, with Incarnate Word scoring first. Ben Conway on an individual effort to beat Joe Barricat out wide, and then he slots the ball with the inside of his foot to the far post. And then just 4 minutes later, Chandler Boyd gets down the inline, beating his defender on a foot race, and then cuts a perfect weighted ball back to Paul Hoffmeister, the Hoffmeister, who tucks it away to tie it 1-1. And here we go to start the overtime period. Alex Neff serves a ball, but it's cut off, and here's De La Garza finding Ben Conway, the goal scorer. But here's Joe Barricat tracking a ball, and here's a throw-in for the Wolverines. Carson Payton winning the foul. Carson Payton being highlighted this year by a couple of different stories on topdrawer.com of players to watch. He returned from his mission to Argentina. He's 22 years old, and he spent some time. Oh, this is dangerous. Ball just goes over the top. Spent some time with the Real Salt Lake Academy, and then coming back from his mission, has started here at Utah Valley University, is a captain.
He's had a good game today. He's distributed well, had some good touches on the ball. Let's see what he can do here in the second half.
He is tallied on the assist as well. He served the ball to Chandler Boyd, so that will add to his tally on the year. Chandler badly steps in and throws his body into the challenge to make sure to keep possession for the Wolverines. And here's Alex Neff. Cameron Kidwell striding into the box, and there is Alex Neff serving the ball, finding Skylar Milne's head. He elevates, doesn't get all of it, gets a flick, but
redirects it, can't get it on frame. No one there from UVU to follow up on that ball, and O'Boyle lets it go and gets a goal kick out of it.
Pay attention behind you. Slide in behind him, Cam.
There's Skylar Milne going for the header. Doesn't win it that time. There's Joe Barricat winning the ball. Good first touch from Chandler Boyd, but that ball, his pass is picked off by Alonzo Gallegos. And here is Ben Conway, the goal scorer, again winning the foul. About 35 yards, maybe 40 yards from goal.
Joe, second balls, let's be aware.
Look for this one to get served in the boxes. Take a little something special to beat Partee from this distance.
Joe Brown, number 2, from Blackpool, or I'm sorry, from Nottingham, England, is center back. He trots into the box. He's a big frame. Big bodies in the penalty box right now, making sure coaches are making sure everyone follows their marks. And here's the service.
He does take a hit from distance. A little worm burner. Nothing that Partee can't handle with ease.
And here's Hoffmeister going the other way.
Beats his guy.
He is so quick. And here's Matt Gay. Good turn, but takes him away from the goal. Keeps the ball for the Wolverines.
Defense does a good job of taking him out to the side, taking away that angle. Can't get a shot off on goal and has to turn the ball around over there. And here's UVU knocking it and switching fields.
Chandler Boyd checking 2 with Jonathan Camarina on his back. Here's Lucas Colley serving the ball to Chandler. He serves another ball back across the line. UVU putting higher pressure, not allowing them out. That's a good turn from De La Garza. Cuts a ball back to Victor Pino. He's got space in front of him, plays it out wide to his right. Victor Pino gets it again, and here is Alonzo Gallegos getting again back to his foot. There's Ben Conway in the middle of the field getting the ball. Good combination. Cameron Kidwell challenging, playing it off. Here's Victor Pino off a good first touch and shot. He doesn't get around it.
Skies it. Ball took a little bounce on him. Just hit the top of his foot and launched it over goal.
Here's Connor Salmon entering the game for Lucas Colley.
Lucas Colley's had a good game. Been out there running a lot, putting in a lot of good balls, connecting the defense to the midfield to the forwards.
Connor Salmon has seen a lot of minutes in this game. Played a vital role so far. And here's Carson Payton, your captain, out wide, trying to take guys on, loses possession. Skylar Milne wins it right back. And here's Connor from distance.
A lot of space, can't put it on frame there. Look for maybe another touch or two to see if one of his teammates can make a run in there, but just decided to take the shot, couldn't get it on frame, and
didn't get all of it.
Yeah. Ended up goal kick for the Cardinals.
Shot from that distance, you've got to make sure you strike clean the ball, every bit and piece of it. There's Alex Neff throwing himself into challenges against Victor Pino, and here's it, counterattack. Oh, just unlucky. Looked like Connor Salmon was trying to spring Carson after the deflection.
Just put it out there too far, couldn't get out there. O'Boyle's on the ball. Looking to play it up to one of his teammates.
There's Skylar, ball falling at his feet. This is dangerous. Here's De La Garza from distance, just on the 18. Joe Barricat has Connor Salmon to help defend if he can get there, but De La Garza wins the corner kick.
De La Garza putting on a few moves there. Bearcat did well to stay with him, not give up a cross.
Everyone one back to defend except Matt Gay for the Wolverines.
Work on the 9! Pull on the 9!
And slipped as he serves the ball.
UVU plays it safe, just kicking the ball out.
It looks like it went out of play even from the service.
Never made it. It never started in bounds, went out of bounds for a Wolverine goal kick.
And just 2 minutes left in this first overtime period.
Underneath, corner!
Driven ball, flick on from Carson Payton. Header from Chandler Badley, and here is Chandler Boyd. Good challenge. Ball's already out of play though. Good slide tackle from him.
Into the last 2 minutes of this first period of overtime. Score's still 1-1. Play 2 10-minute overtime periods unless there's a goal scored. Team that scores wins. If it ends in a tie after the second period, it ends in a tie.
There's a turn from Ben Conway, but it's cut off by Skylar Milne. He's been a huge presence this evening, this afternoon for the Wolverines, winning a lot of those 50-50 tackles, cleaning up.
He's been winning balls left and right with his head. He's been coming in with his feet, sliding, winning the ball. He's done a whole lot in this defensive third for UVU today.
Here's Alex Neff. He probably play a big one, and goes to Connor Salmon. Serves the ball in. Oh, good turn from Hoffmeister on his left foot. Shot just off the crossbar. Oh, that could have been it.
He does
I thought it was
job.
it.
Great job moving through a couple guys, clearing some space, putting it on his left foot, puts a shot on goal and just bounces it off the crossbar. UV almost snuck one in there. 30 seconds left in the first period of overtime.
Looked like the ball just took a little bit of a flight upwards at the last second. If it had dipped instead of going upward, it would have been just under the crossbar. It had been a goal, but we remain 1-1. Looks like it will be the end of the first half as Kieran O'Boyle takes his sweet time. And there it is the first period is over of overtime. We go into the second half. There's just a 2-minute break in between, so stay right with us. That was one of the best chances for the Wolverines as the Hoffmeister hits the crossbar. He's been going to his right foot all night, but that time he switches to his left. It almost finds the game winner. Mentioned that Incarnate Word is from San Antonio, Texas, so I imagine the elevation at this period of the match will play a role in their fitness. See if they'll be able to match the type of level and intensity that UVU will bring to the match.
It's definitely an advantage that the Wolverines have when they're playing here at home, being over 4,000 feet above sea level. You know, San Antonio is about 8 feet above sea level, if that. So that lack of oxygen is taking a toll on these players. Some of these guys getting some water in between the periods, looking to catch their breath, regain a little bit of their energy and see what they can do with this final period of overtime.
Both teams having the advantage of having former professional soccer players as their coaching staff, on their coaching staff. Coach Moss spending 5 years in the pros in Seattle. And you also have the head coach for Incarnate Word. He had spent some time in the A-League from 97 to 2000, like we had mentioned earlier. So I'm sure during this period, during the halftime break, Vince Martinez and Coach Moss have some very educated type of instruction for their players. Who's going to take the instruction and
Referees
put it
are
into use?
calling for the players to take the field. UVU's getting a little team huddle before they send them out. Get their cheer on. Take their places on the field as we start this final 10 minutes of overtime. Again, it's golden goal. If somebody scores, the game's over.
Looks like Lucas Colley went back into the game.
Boyd came out, I think.
Chandler Boyd leaves the game. He's been an impact as he's come into the game as a substitute. Getting in behind the outside back a few different times. Jonathan Camarina had been holding his ground pretty well for the majority of the match, but then Chandler Boyd was able to stretch him and get in behind Camarina a few times. And here we go to start the second half. Incarnate Word in the white tops and red socks and shorts. Your Wolverines in all green.
Left shoulder, Connor, just be aware of that scene.
Here is Will Redmond trying to play a ball down the line. Ball cut off by Skylar Milne, but then picked off by Ben Conway, who's off to the races. Skylar just does a 40-yard sprint to make sure to take a deflection off of that. But here is around the corner. This is dangerous. Chandler Badley does just enough to keep it out. You had a back post runner. It looked like Ryan Osborne was setting his sights on just having a strike, maybe off of his head or half volley.
It's a good cross put in there. You know, dangerous ball. UVU did a good job to clear that ball out.
You see the UVU Wolverines lined up against the sideline. So bear with us as we try to catch our view of the match. This is dangerous. Free runner gets a shot, but he doesn't put it on frame.
Now off the half volley, difficult shot. Didn't have time to bring it down. He was being pressured by the UVU defense and took a half volley shot, put it well wide.
A lot of this action in overtime and the closing moments of the second half has been on this south side of Clyde Field. Here's a little flick. Here's Lucas Colley. What a good turn. Leaves his defender in the dust. Ooh, a little checking run across the field from Hoffmeister, but it was picked off. Big ball played, but it goes right to Cameron Kidwell's foot. Here he is taking a first touch.
It's a nice clean ball right there.
Ooh.
Failing to connect up in that upper third again. You know, you've seen when UVU's been dangerous, they've been connecting their passes, making some good runs down the sidelines and getting crosses in and working that ball through the midfield. When they've been less effective, they just haven't been able to connect those passes there and, you know, give the ball away easily.
First touch from Lucas Colley gets away from him. Here he is tracking, and here's Cameron Kidwell stepping into the gap. And Carson Payton challenging against Will Redmond. Redmond winning that.
Good little poke away on defense there.
Connor Salmon with the ball in the middle of the field. He had Victor Pino on his back. Here's Chandler Badley. Take a little foul, but no, play on. Andrew Grossman clips at Carson's foot. And here's Ben Conway. Crafty little cuts from forward to keep possession.
Kidwell stands him up nicely.
Here's Andrew Grossman trying to find Victor Pino.
He made a nice step there to get in dangerous position, tried to put it up to one of his teammates and just couldn't connect the pass there well enough. A lot of defenders around him.
Hoffmeister's touch just gets away from him. You could see he was trying to lead himself to take off into a spread, just too heavy. Here we go the other way. There's Gallegos on the ball, finding Will Redmond. Getting it back to Gallegos, serving a ball for Victor Pino to track, to chase down. Did he keep it in?
Now ball goes out for a goal kick.
Little teamwork here as we look through the Wolverines. They're trying to cheer on their teammates into victory.
Had to sneak a peek over here at the monitors next to me to find out what happened. Got a nice wall of green or orange pennies obstructing our view of this south corner.
There's Ben Conway springing Victor Gino forward, and there's a bad touch, handball, and here's Hoffmeister going the other way, and his touch.
Quick restart, and his touch fails him there. Gives the ball over cheaply back to the Cardinals.
And here we go into the closing 5 minutes of the game, where the UVU has given up a couple of very important goals. And here is Matt Gay. It's on his left foot, non-preferred foot, but he tries to play it across the face. Does he win a corner off of this?
Substitution. Number 9, Matt Gay.
Looks like it's throw-in.
The game is number 23, Austin Buxton.
Matt Gay coming off. He's had some great shots from set pieces this game. Forced the keeper into a couple saves. Played well. It looks like it's his time of the night. Austin Buxton goes in, see if he can spur the team on for final few minutes of this game.
Looks like Matt Gay's walking with a limp a little.
UVU throwing down in the corner.
UVU wins a throw-in.
Don't let him out. Badly, don't let him out.
4 minutes left in this second period of overtime. Shot from Lucas.
It's just wide.
So it just clips that far post. Great turn. It was quick. It was a quick turn.
Maybe 18 inches wide. Just missed the post actually from the angle I saw. It's a good shot. Couldn't quite get it to turn in.
Connor Salmon wins the header. Little flick on for Austin Buxton. Here's Lucas Colley behind him. Oh, a little slide tackle to win the deflection. Here's Ryan Osborne. There's Victor Pinal.
Yeah, one of the Cardinal players calling for a yellow card. Chandler kicking that ball away, and the UVU staff saying it wasn't intentional. Center referee Dion Telting.
Oh, this is a bad giveaway right in the middle of the field. Skyler makes up for it to win it back. Good first touch from Buxton. Carson Payton has space. Lucas Colley has space for him. And can he get a service? He's going to go himself, has a shot, but just falls to Kieran Boyle.
He squeezes his way through.
3 guys.
3 defenders there. Gets a shot off, but didn't get all of it. Didn't challenge the keeper.
I think everyone was expecting a cross, but he just kept the ball on his foot.
Look at that. Another header win for Milne.
Big ball down the line. Is it going to stay and play?
It's a hopeful ball. Good effort there running with just under 2 minutes to play in this game. See both teams giving it all they've got, running their hearts out, trying to salvage, get a final goal, and give their team the win.
Remember, the top 6 teams in the conference qualify for the tournament that will be hosted at Championship Field in Seattle this year. Seattle was picked as the favorite to win this year.
You know, they're only having an all right season. You know, they're still high in the coaches' rankings, but you know they're sitting in third place.
This is dangerous. This is Ben Conway on his left foot. He
Well
falls.
ball.
Where's this ball going to land? It's going to fall into Kieran O'Boyle's hands. 1 minute left in the game.
1 minute remaining.
This guy's just giving it last bit of effort here.
Good touch from Carson's to his left foot. We got 45 seconds to set this set piece up. 40 seconds and counting. This is, what do we got? About 25 yards from goal.
You got to look for a strike on goal here.
30 seconds now.
It's exciting.
Carson is setting his feet. Ooh, takes a deflection. Is that going to be a corner? 20 seconds. They have enough time.
Oh, it's going to be close.
10 seconds.
They're sending the keeper.
9, 8,
Ball served in, nobody around.
And just blasted out. This game's going to end 1-1.
And that is how we end it, 1-1. You're visiting Incarnate Word, comes in and gets the goal with about 10 minutes to go, but Paul Hoffmeister does not allow that to be the end result. Ties it up late, and that's how we end it. Make sure you join us on Sunday, where Houston Baptist will be visiting your Utah Valley Wolverines at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Follow my Twitter, Sean Blymiller, ShawnBlyMiller, or Caleb Reeve, at same spelled as well. But make sure you join us next time. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Caleb, for joining me tonight.
Thank you, Sean, for having me. It's been a pleasure.
And we will sign off. See you soon.
Cheers.
Be sure to join us back in Midfield tomorrow at noon as the women's soccer team faces off versus Seattle in their final home match of the year. The men's soccer team returns home Sunday for their final home match versus Houston Baptist at 4 p.m. Please travel home safely.